Sevatar leaned on his spear, the chain blade resting on the rock-reed road. "You are my Primarch, father. Why wouldn't I risk myself to save you?" "Because I am your Primarch." Kerr shook his head, his smile as dark as his deeds. "And I lead a legion of foul-hearted wretches with no sense of loyalty to me or to each other." Sevatar shrugged, with a grind of armor joints. "And yet, I am so very popular among my brothers. The mystery of it all fascinates me."
Hi folks, in this video I kitbash Jago Sevatarion of the Night Lords. For the basis of this model, I used the new Chaos Space Marine Chaos Lord. The base model is amazing as it is, however there was a specific look I was going for. So to start with, using my hobby saw, I gently removed the torso from the legs. And then with a combination of my hobby knife and sanding sticks, I removed any excess plastic that was left over, just to give it a nice smooth finish. Next up, I specifically needed this bottom half of the torso from the back of the model, so again with my hobby saw, I gently removed it. This part was the armor plating across, well, butt plating? I don't know, maybe, that might be the thing, I'm not sure, but this bit I needed specifically because it filled the hole on the front part of the legs, if that makes sense. You'll see. For those of you who are new to the channel, I have a massive list of kit bashes and conversion ideas that folks in the community have suggested. You can find a link to it in the description below. If you notice that there isn't something on there that you'd like to see, then let me know and I'll add it to the list. I then used this chest piece from the normal Chaos Space Marine kit. The reason I chose this one rather than the one that was already inside the Chaos Lord kit was because of the skull on the front of the chest. It's not quite as ornate as the one that Sevatar has. However, I was just easing myself back into kit bashing, so I'm sure you forgive me. I then clipped away the Taruges and the grenade before using my hobby knife to tidy up any rough edges. As always, I make sure to compare the parts that I'm cutting to ensure that I'm not taking too much off. You can always take more off, but you can never put it back on. And then with my hobby saw, I removed the butt plates from the reverse part of that Chaos Space Marine torso. Before tidying up any rough edges with my hobby knife and sanding sticks. I then stuck the two halves of the torso together and then stuck that to the legs. I think it's important to say that not all kit bashes or conversions go as you want. That's okay, you're never going to be perfect all the time. As we know, we are all our own worst critics, so don't be so harsh on yourself. I was harsh on myself with this. I'm not too sure I liked the direction it was going, but I kept persevering and I don't think it turned out too bad. I then got another torso from the Chaos Space Marine kit, the one with the little dangly cloth hanging down, and with my hobby saw removed that chest piece, as all I wanted from it was that cloth. I then removed the grenade and the belt buckle using my hobby clippers. I compared the cloth to the model and with my hobby knife made small controlled cuts to ensure that it fits snugly before gluing it into place. If you've been enjoying this video, why not chuck me a like and maybe subscribe? It's absolutely free to do and it really helps me a lot. If it's not your thing, that's totally cool too. Feel free to share it amongst your friends as someone else may enjoy it. Next up, using the right arm from the Chaos Lord kit, I removed the little nub as it was going to be sitting flush onto the new torso. I clipped off the pommel from the power weapon and tidied up any rough plastic with my hobby knife. There's a small nub of plastic where the power maul or the power hammer go onto. I removed that in anticipation for the chain glaive I was going to be adding. For the handle of the chain glaive, I once again went to the Stormcast Vindicta kit. It's a really cool kit for like long handles. And using my blue tack technique, I gently removed the handle from the Vindicta arm. I then made sure the handle was level by just taking small bits of plastic off with my hobby knife before attaching it to the rest of the arm. Next up was the chain glaive itself. I used a chainsword from the Raptor kit, as I have found they were more ornate than the ones you got in normal Chaos Space Marine kit. Once again, using my blue tack technique, I cut the chainsword off at the hand. And after some back and forth comparisons, I stuck the chainsword to the rest of the glaive, before sticking the arm to the rest of the model. At this point, I also stuck this ornate skull shoulder pad on, as I thought it was the perfect fit for the look I was going for. I also want to do a quick shout out to all the folks supporting me over on Patreon. I really appreciate support. If you folks fancy supporting me that way, then feel free to head over, a link is in the description below. For the power pack, I used the one from the Nemesis Claw kit. I mean, it speaks for itself. There's nothing I need to do to this, it is literally specifically Night Lord, and it's perfect. I need to be frank about this part of the Kitbash. It's very easy, and that's not me being big-headed or showboating or anything like that. I simply used the bits from the Night Lord kit just to finish the model off. It was at this point where I thought that I was really holding out and wasn't fulfilling my potential as a kitbasher or converter, and I was taking the easy route. But sometimes that's what kitbashing is. All you need to do is a head swap and it can make a model look really unique and different. So whilst I was chastising myself, I also got over myself, kind of, and cracked on, and hopefully you folks will find that this model is a good model. I thought it'd be remiss of me not to mention this, as again this is a part of that process. Digging into that Nemesis Claw kit again, I used this left arm, the one that was holding a dagger. Very reminiscent of the original Forge World resin Sevatar model. However, again, I was a little bit upset I didn't commit and create the rotting bat wing that's on his shoulder. I really wish I'd done that, but I didn't. So I went for this one. I took the easy road. You be the judge. Let me know what you think. Again with the Nemesis Claw kit, I used this helmet. However, what I did do is I removed the two little, they're like tusks that stick out on either side of the Vox grill, as it didn't quite sit in the rest of the model. There's a couple of extra bits here that I actually forgot to record because I'm a numpty. For his little wing motif that's hanging down by his cloth, I used one of the winged Aquillas that stick on the top of a power pack from the old Blood Angels upgrade sprue. I trimmed the wing off, trimmed it down ever so slightly, and just glued it up near the belt buckle. And I think it turned out alright. The other thing I did is I stuck a set of grenades onto the belt, and also any almost like teethy spike bits that were on the trim on the legs of the model, I cut off and removed. And once that was done, I painted and based the model, which left me with this. And here he is, my interpretation of Jago Sevatarion, or Sevatar, as is most commonly known as. As I mentioned previously, there's some aspects of the Kitbash that I wasn't too keen on. However, I am happy with the end result. I think it looks pretty cool. It's my first time kitbashing a chaos-based character, so that's a new thing. And yeah, I'd love to know what you folks think. Did I capture his essence, or does it just look like a generic Night Lord captain? Let me know in the comments below. As always, thank you ever so much for watching and your continued support, and I'll catch you in the next one.